Your pets are a member of the family, so don't feed them like they're in the doghouse. Give them Nom Nom. Nom Nom delivers freshly made dog food with every portion personalized to your dog's needs so you can bring out their best. Nom Nom's made with real wholesome ingredients that you can see and recognize without any additives or fillers that can contribute to bloating and low energy. And that's because Nom Nom uses the latest science and insights to make real good food for dogs. Go right now for 50% off your no-risk 2-week trial at trynom.com/manifest. Spelled try, NOM.com/manifest for 50% off. trynom.com/manifest. With February being the month of self-love, why not show some love to your skin? Most skincare routines only deliver superficial results, but thanks to today's sponsor, OneSkin, you get a scientifically proven treatment that improves the appearance and health of your skin at a cellular level. So what's the secret? OneSkin's proprietary OS01 peptide. It's the first ingredient scientifically proven to reduce the buildup of senescent cells, which are those notorious zombie cells that contribute to skin aging. OneSkin is more than skincare. It's about skin longevity, targeting the root causes of aging to help you look and feel your best at every age. So get started today with 15% off using code MANIFEST at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code MANIFEST. After you purchase, they'll ask you about how you heard of them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you here at Manifest. It's time to expect more from your skincare routine, so invest in the health of your skin with OneSkin. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Manifest with Tori DeSimone. I'm your host, Tori DeSimone. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Manifest Monday. I hope you guys are all having an amazing start to the week so far, and I hope that February is treating you guys well. It's Valentine's Day week. It's the week of love, and I'm so excited to sit down with you guys today and talk about what I feel like is the ultimate form of self-love, which is putting effort into yourself. I personally notice an immediate difference when I put effort into myself versus when I do not put effort into myself. And I don't just mean in all physical aspects like doing hair, makeup, going to workouts, things like that. But I also mean internally, when I nurture myself, when I speak kindly to myself, when I really just like level up my mindset. All of these things add up over time, just like the ultimate form of self-love, which is showing up for yourself. Because honestly, if you don't show up for yourself, who is going to? Honestly, like there's no hero coming to save you in your story. There's no savior. Like it's just you and you at the end of the day. So I think that prioritizing yourself and being the best version of yourself is so important. And it's just the ultimate form of self-love, which is why I wanted to talk about it this week of the week of Valentine's Day. Before we dive too deep into the episode, I want to shout out my TikTok, believe it or not. I've been putting a lot of new content up on my TikTok. I'll have it linked in the show notes below. But I definitely like what I'm posting over there. It's like days in my life, little makeup videos, just like random stuff. But I'm also going to be starting a new series on my TikTok that I will formally announce next week. But this series is one that I know you guys are really going to like, especially as Manifest with Tori DeSimone listeners. So I'm really excited for you guys to listen to this new series and to see what this is all about. But that's going to be really exciting. And it has to do, I've talked about it on the show before, so you might be able to guess what it is, but I'm really excited. So be sure to follow my TikTok and see what is going on over there and all of those good things. One more housekeeping thing is that there is a Manifest book club for the month of February. The episode comes out on Thursday, February 29th, and it's with the book The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. You guys, this book is like next level. I love it so much. I listened to it on audiobook, and then I also just got like the physical copy and I'm rereading it again because it is that good, and I wanted to mark it up and make so many notes. So doing that on the audiobook, I wasn't like able to do that. Oh my God, this book is so good and I'm obsessed with it. And I really can't wait to talk about it. So I couldn't recommend this book enough. And that is for the Manifest Book Club that is at the end of February. Also, for March, let me know what you guys want. Like, do we want to do another bonus episode in the form of a book club, or do we want a guest on and do like a little guest series? Let me know what you guys want for March. If we aren't like reading the books and we like need a break from reading, totally fine. Also, I just need to say this because my mom told me this a week ago and I've not like shared it anywhere and it's just crazy to me. In the month of January, my mom read 28 books. 28 books in 1 month. Yeah, the math is mathing. It's literally like a book a day. And today is the 9th day of February and she's on her 9th book of the month. My reading goal was like, I don't know, like 20 books for the year. Okay. I don't even know. Like my mom is just a reading machine and I haven't like said that yet and I just need to. She's an animal with the reading. So anyway, let me know what you guys want for the bonus episode for March, but for February it is The Creative Act: A Way of Being by Rick Rubin, who now when people say, who would you want to have dinner with, dead or alive? My answer 100% is Rick Rubin. He's alive, thank goodness. But I just want to meet him and like have dinner with him so badly. And I just want to hear him speak. I don't even care what he speaks about. I just think he's like the coolest dude. He's really fascinating and really interesting. And I got my dad reading the book now too. What a cool guy. What a cool guy. Okay, let's dive into today's topic of exiting your lazy girl era. Okay. So I kind of already touched on the fact that I feel much better in myself and I notice an immediate difference when I put effort into myself versus when I don't put effort into myself. And again, this is effort in all aspects of my life. But I feel like this kind of comes down to a game of choices, right? And that it comes down to an idea that it is hard to always put effort in and it's hard to always show up for yourself. And it's a decision to show up for yourself and it's a choice. And you always have a choice. Do you take the choice of the easy route or the hard route? I think when you take the choice of the hard route, it is met with resistance and sometimes complications, but typically it's the right choice. Take the hard right rather than the easy wrong. Making the easy choice is yet again another choice, but the easy route doesn't always have growth in it. Like, I'll be totally transparent. Right now, this is my third time restarting this episode because the first time I didn't like the direction that I was like going off script. Like I always script out my episodes so my thoughts are what I want to say. And I was just going on a lot of tangents and I was like, I don't even like the direction that I'm taking this. Second time I tried it, I didn't like it again. So the third time I was like, and this is where we're at on the third time. But after the first time, I was a little discouraged and I was like, okay, let's try again. And then after the second time, I immediately was like, you know what? Why don't I just not podcast today? I will do it tomorrow and maybe I'll be in a better headspace tomorrow. And like maybe I can, articulate my thoughts a little bit better. But that was immediately me just being like, okay, now I have to reschedule my whole day tomorrow when I set aside the time today to do this. And I have exactly in front of me what I want to say. I just need to say it. And I also need to not be so hard on myself. Like I just need to say what's on my mind and speak freely. Like I do this every week. I know what to do, whatever, But what I'm getting at is right now in the moment, the easy thing would have been to just turn this off and go take a shower and say, I will do it tomorrow. The harder thing to do is to just take a few deep breaths and settle in and be like, you know what? I know what I want to say. I'm going to say what I want to say, and I'm going to do it well because I have it written out in front of me. So the easy choice would have just been to give up for the day and do it again tomorrow. The harder choice was to stay in the space and try again. And I took the harder option And I'm really happy that I did because I'm really liking how this episode now is going. And I feel like I'm really tapped in and I'm definitely like in the zone and I'm in the flow of it all. And it just feels really good. And I'm glad now that I'm not doing it tomorrow because I have plans tomorrow. And if I were to podcast tomorrow, then I have to rearrange my whole day because I bailed on something today because it was the easier choice in the moment. We always have a choice. We have the easy choice and we have the hard choice. One isn't always right, one isn't always wrong, but we always have choices. And all of our choices have consequences or actions or the butterfly effect or however you choose to narrate your choices. Every choice has like a repercussion that happens because of it. And you can choose however you want, but know that your life is the way it is based on a series of choices. So furthermore, when you're choosing an easier route or an easier option or a lazier option, to stick with the wording of this episode, I find that it's actually really hard to be complacent with yourself and just settle for a version of yourself that you're not happy with or like a life that you're snubbing yourself of. I'll give an example of a workout because I go through this battle frequently where I have like a workout class scheduled and then the workout class comes up and I have to choose like, okay, am I going to go or am I not going to go? Going some days is the harder choice because I have a million other things that I could be doing. I could want to stay home. I could want to shower. I could just not be in the mood to go. Maybe I don't want to get my hair sweaty. Like there's a million reasons why I don't have to go. But the thing that I know about this workout class is that I would feel better afterwards. My body will thank me. My mind will thank me. It's going to be the domino effect, which we'll get into later, that's going to set everything else into momentum for me. So the harder choice, but for me in this instance, the right choice is to go to this workout class. Now, let's also say that this is situational, right? Like there might be some days, an example of when I was training for my marathon, I developed a shin splint. The easy choice from an outside perspective is to let it rest. But that was actually really hard when you're like in the mind space and the mindset of I'm running a marathon. I've announced it on the internet. People ask questions about it daily. I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to lose progress. I don't want to let other people down. The hard choice was to rest. And ultimately that's what I had to do. But a hard choice doesn't mean it's easy. It also doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's always situational. But what I'm getting at is that life is made up of choices. But I find that 9 times out of 10, just because I'm choosing an easier decision doesn't always mean it's easier to do. Sometimes it's harder to do. Like choosing to not show up to the best version of yourself, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow. It really is. Like settling for a version of yourself that you know isn't who you want to be or isn't your best self, it's not easy. It's hard to wake up feeling tired. It's also hard to wake up early and develop a morning routine so you feel energetic. It's hard to have a difficult conversation with someone, but it's also hard to keep your feelings in. You know what I'm getting at? Like life is all about choices and each choice can be hard and you just have to like choose your heart at the end of the day. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Anything worth having in your life is going to be met with resistance. And I read a fantastic book. It's called The War of Art, not The Art of War, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And this book talks a lot about resistance and how pretty much like all roads lead back to resistance. And if this isn't the truest thing I've ever heard, I don't know what is. Anything in life worth having is going to be faced with a lot of resistance. Resistance from ourselves with that tiny little voice in the back of our heads, which if you want to dive deeper into that voice, I recommend reading The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Or it could be met from critiques from outsiders, or maybe it's met with you don't have enough time to do what it is that we want to do in our days. Because, you know, we look at people like Taylor Swift, who has private jets and assistants and stylists and like the world's resources at her fingertips. And we're like, well, I don't have all those resources available. Or we look at someone that maybe has more financial means than we do, and they can afford, a private chef or a nanny. And because of this, they're able to, do more things for themselves during the day. And you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to have resistance as to why we can't have the life that we want to have. There's a million reasons why we can't do what it is that we want to do. And this kind of comes back to what I was saying earlier, that we live two lives, the one that we currently live and the one that we want to live. And the difference between the two is the choices that we've made. And it's easy to say, back to the easy remark, it's easy to say like, well, not a lot of these choices were in my control, or I'm here because of the cards I was dealt in life. And absolutely. But it is a choice to stay where you are in your life. You can always choose to change one thing or two things and begin to level up your life in a way that makes you feel good. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't actually to search at all. So don't search, match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly listeners, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. So ditch the busy work and use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so that you can connect with candidates faster. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree that Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. I've used Indeed on both ends, meaning I have hired people from Indeed to work for me, and my boyfriend's current job, he got on Indeed. And I have been always impressed with Indeed. I love Indeed because I will put in exactly what I'm looking for, and they will send me someone right my way that I'm looking for, and I've hired them, and they've been amazing. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning your preferences so that the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. So join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of our show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/manifest. Just go to Indeed.com/manifest right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/manifest. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Your pets are a member of the family, so don't feed them like they're in the doghouse. Give them Nom Nom. Nom Nom delivers freshly made dog food with every portion personalized to your dog's needs so you can bring out their best. Nom Nom's made with real wholesome ingredients that you can see and recognize without any additives or fillers that can contribute to bloating and low energy. And that's because Nom Nom uses the latest science and insights to make real, good food for dogs. Their nutrient-packed recipes are designed by board-certified veterinary nutritionists, freshly made and shipped free to your door. Nom Nom's already delivered over 40 million meals to good dogs like yours, inspiring millions of clean bowls and tail wags. We have two dogs, Ringo and Frankie. Frankie is a little Shih Tzu and Ringo is a Black Lab Dalmatian mix of sorts. So they are two different sizes and they both love Nom Nom because they're personalized to them and they are just obsessed. They're the happiest little dogs. Nom Nom comes with a money-back guarantee. So if your dog's tail isn't wagging within 30 days, Nom Nom will refund your first order. No fillers, no nonsense, just Nom Nom. Go right now for 50% off your no-risk 2-week trial at trynom.com/manifest. Spelled try, NOM.com/manifest for 50% off. Trynom.com/manifest. With February being the month of self-love, why not show some love to your skin? Most skincare routines only deliver superficial results, but thanks to today's sponsor, OneSkin, you get a scientifically proven treatment that improves the appearance and health of your skin at a cellular level. So, what's the secret? OneSkin's proprietary OS01 peptide. It's the first ingredient scientifically proven to reduce the buildup of senescent cells, which are those notorious zombie cells that contribute to skin aging. Fewer zombie cells mean healthier, younger looking skin with fewer lines and wrinkles, reduced age spots, and a stronger natural barrier, something that's especially important this time of year. Your skin does so much for you, so return the favor with OneSkin. For a limited time, our listeners will get an exclusive 15% off their OneSkin purchase using the code MANIFEST when you check out at oneskin.co. Invest in health and longevity with your skin with OneSkin. OneSkin has been a lifesaver. I gifted to so many friends and family over the holidays of OneSkin, and now that we are 2 months out from the holidays, which is crazy, they are noticing the most insane difference to their skin, and they are obsessed, you guys. Everyone's skin is glowing, they look gorgeous, and they just really are obsessed with the cutting edge technology and the fact that this is backed by science. They are just obsessed with. OneSkin is more than skincare. It's about skin longevity, targeting the root causes of aging to help you look and feel your best at every age. So get started today with 15% off using code MANIFEST at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code MANIFEST. After you purchase, they'll ask you about how you heard of them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you here at Manifest. It's time to expect more from your skincare routine, so invest in the health of your skin with OneSkin. So all of this is to say that it's time to exit your, for lack of a better term, lazy girl era. Now, this is really just kind of like a catchy title. What I mean by this, I don't think anyone is lazy. I truly don't. It's really just the title. But this episode really is about creating a life that you want based off of your choices, and that's really what I want to dive in today. And just remembering that these choices are going to be met with resistance when you decide that it's your time to level up, and it's your time to step up to the plate, and it's your time to not snub yourself of a life that you want to live and that you deserve to live. Like, recognizing and acknowledging that this is your one shot. You have one life. You have one opportunity, and this is it. And you have the power, the options, the choices to reinvent yourself at any moment. And that is really powerful. So, like, stepping into that power and becoming who you want to be, that's how you know. That's how you know you're ready to exit this era of you and enter a new one. So just remember, these choices are going to be met with resistance. Resistance from yourself when the motivation wears off. Resistance from friends and family when they don't understand why you're making the certain choices to change your life, because to them, you fit perfectly into their life as it is. So why do you need to change anything? They might be speaking from fear that you don't fit into their life anymore, but honestly, that's their cross to bear, not yours. You might be met with resistance from time constraints, like what we talked about. You might need to be waking up earlier. You might need to skip out on going to dinner to save money, things like that. But these choices that you are choosing to make are ultimately going to lead you to a life that you know that you want to live. But you also have to remember that the choices you are making right now have led you to a life that you're already experiencing. And if you want to change and experience something brand new, then you have to make new choices. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. And that's the matter of the fact. I actually have a whole episode about that. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And creating a life that you want is not easy, but it is so worth it, and it is so rewarding. And it just takes a few mindset shifts and honestly 2 tips that I have. And I think you'll be amazed when we break it down at how simple it can be, and how your life can change right before your eyes. So let's talk about how to exit your quote unquote lazy girl era. And I also want to not confuse this episode with like a love affair of hustle culture and speeding up, because that's not where this episode is meaning to go. I want to say all of this with the love and harmony and alignment for your best self. But your best self requires 100% of you 100% of the time. And also recognizing that that 100% could also be 100% rest without guilt. It could be 100% pushing the pedal to the metal without regret. It could be 100% I'm fully doing retail therapy and shopping right now because this is what I need. Like, whatever it is, I just want you to be so committed to it, but take the hustle culture out of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you need to slow down, 100% be present in your slowing down without guilt, without shame, because you need to. So things like that. It will show up in a lot of different ways, and maybe I should just get into it before I get into this. Okay. 2 books I recommend that you read. Number 1 is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. This is a book on spirituality. So if this doesn't align with you or it contradicts your religion, please don't feel inclined to read this if it makes you uncomfortable. But for me, it was very eye-opening in recognizing who that voice in my head was and the power that we hold. So if you want to skip this entirely, you can. But if you want to know like the gist of the book, I have a podcast episode that I will leave in the show notes below. And the second book that I recommend is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, which I mentioned earlier. And this one is really rooted in creativity, but I find that the principles in it are really applicable to all walks of life and any avenue that you deem necessary. So like, even if you're going to apply this book towards like a workout class, okay, great. If you're going to apply this book towards your podcast, okay, great. Like, there are so many ways that you can apply this book. So it doesn't just have to be about like a creative project that you're working on, because you might not have any creative projects that you're working on. Totally fine. Okay. Tips for exiting the lazy girl era. Number 1 is to get micro about who it is that you want to be and what it is that you want to do with your days. There is really like no wrong answers here. So I think personally for me, I would wake up, I would journal, I would meditate, walk, practice yoga, podcast, build my brand. I would work with Stride. I would be present. I would read. I would cook. I would laugh. I would watch a sunset. I'd be on the beach. Like, things like that. Like, how would I feel fulfilled and happy in this era of me? So just get really, really micro on who it is you want to be and how it is that you want to spend your days. If you need visualization, this is where like vision boards can come into play, things like that. Taylor Swift, as an example, she manifested through music. And I mean, if you look at her songs that she wrote when she was like 15, like You Belong With Me, okay? And now she's literally dating Travis Kelce. Like, there's no coincidence in that. Like, she literally manifested that. Or how Long Live was about like, you know, performing in sold out arenas, and now she's on the Eras World Tour. Like, she was manifesting through music. So manifesting can come in all shapes and sizes. A vision board is just a very popular way of doing so right now, but you can really do it in so many ways. You can, you know, you can write about it in a journal every day. You can sing your manifestations. You can paint images of things that you want in your life. Like, if you want to live on the beach, like, you can paint a gorgeous beach. And I bet in 30 years, when you move into this gorgeous beach house, you'll find this painting and you'll be like, oh my God, that's my view. Like, things have a crazy way of working themselves out. So I think any sort of manifestations here that will visualize or just get who it is that you want to be and how you want to spend your days out there is a great place to start. I have an entire episode on how to manifest. And then on top of this, the second way to exit your lazy girl era is to add in one new habit each week. And it can be really overwhelming to add in a ton of new habits all at once. So break it down week by week and continue to stack habits onto one another so that you can continue with your old habits while developing new ones. So pick your lead domino habit first, or the habit that will create like the snowball effect. If this is one thing that you can do every day that gets done, it will set everything else in forward motion. So for me, I know that I feel my best when I practice yoga daily. So starting on week 1, let's say, I'm going to sit down on Sunday night and plan out my week and plan out my workouts. I'm going to book all of my classes on Sunday night and plan my week around my workouts. They are my non-negotiable. Like that is my lead domino, because I know that after I practice yoga, I'm going to come home and I'm going to shower, and showering makes me feel so refreshed. And then I'm going to want to put on a clean outfit, and then I'm going to want to do my skincare. And then you kind of see where I'm going with this. Like it's just one thing leads into another, hence the snowball effect. So with this week 1, I'm going to plan and attend all of my yoga classes. And then this is where we get to really test out that resistance. Reason being, it is easy to plan an ideal week on a Sunday when we have the energy, the motivation, the gusto behind it. But it's not so easy when suddenly it's Thursday and that Sunday night motivation is totally gone and work is kicking our ass and we're hungry and we're tired and we don't feel like going to a workout class, and you have to get the dog food and you have to get a car wash and the laundry needs to be folded and your boss is in your ear about a deadline and life is just like lifing. You know what I mean? But this is when the resistance comes in, and it's really easy to slip back into the easy decision of, oh, I don't need to go tonight. I have so many other things. I will just cancel because that's easy. But then you're snubbing yourself of an experience that was meant for you, or you're stopping yourself of something that you wanted to do. Like that's ultimately why you booked it and you made this goal, you made this habit. And working out is the one thing that actually would align you to do everything else that you just said you needed to do and set it all in motion to get done. Like I said, anything in life that you want that is worth having for you is going to be met with resistance. So push through it and you will thank yourself later. And then an example of like week 2 of your new habit is on Sunday night, you plan your workouts, you attend them, but then also this week, you're going to add in a 15-minute makeup routine in the morning. So then you can see how you just stack on. So now you take a yoga class, you come home, you shower, you do a 15-minute morning routine, and suddenly you show up to your meetings with your chin held a little bit higher. You decide you want to make plans for the nighttime. Like everything just kind of begins to fall into place, and you just add one new habit each week until you begin to stack these habits and they just become part of your daily life. And before you know it, you are going to have an entirely new life that is made up of all new choices that have all become habits and all now are routines. And you are just suddenly in a completely different stage of life because you made the changes and the choices to change. Finally, the third thing is to have accountability. Confide in someone that you are changing some habits in your life and that you would really love support. You can tell this person your wins for the week, or you can make it a point to mention that you're proud of yourself. Just having someone that you can confide in and that is genuinely rooting for you, I think is always really beneficial and really helpful when it comes to leveling up your life. Another option is to journal about it. This way, if you feel like you're annoying someone when you talk to them, which honestly is me, I'm like, I don't want to bother you. Like I literally only talk to like my therapist about like things that go on in my life because I just don't want to like bother anyone else. So I'm like, I'll just talk to my therapist in my journal. So I journal about everything, and I just like write down all my thoughts, all my feelings, all my emotions. And in your journal, you can talk about the hardships as much as you want. No one's going to judge you. You can talk about your wins. You can talk about your successes. You can talk about literally whatever you want in this journal. And it also acts as like an accountability partner. And maybe a journal is your week 1 habit that you want to do. Okay. And you can do this for as many weeks as you need. Like if you have, let's say 12 things that you want to add into your life, you can do that over the course of 12 weeks, or maybe you do it over 24 weeks and you do one new habit every 2 weeks or something like that. Another option is to begin a social media page to kind of document your journey. This is a really cool option because you might inspire someone along the way, and you could also create a community of like-minded people that are encouraging and inspiring, and that is really cool too. So this is really what it comes down to. You have a life to have a life you've never had, you have to do things you've never done. And exiting your lazy girl era is going to take a new version of you that you have never met before. But that doesn't mean that she doesn't exist, right? It just means you haven't met her yet. Like, you just have to do things you've never done before to have something you've never had before. Makes sense. You got to this point in your life based on choices that either you've made or someone else has made, but here you are, and you choosing to stay here is a choice, or you choosing to outgrow this is a choice, or you choosing to change something is a choice. And the choice is always yours, and it always comes back to you. And I want you to be the hero of your own story, and I want you to lead and live a life that you are truly proud of, and putting effort into yourself and showing yourself the ultimate form of self-love by leading a life that you love. And that's what I have for you guys today. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode of Manifest with Tori DeSimone. I just cracked my knuckles if you guys could hear that on the microphone. ASMR. Let me try again. Nice. Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful week. I would love to know what habit you guys are going to implement this week. Let me know in the comments of the YouTube channel. Be sure to watch this video on YouTube and to follow the Instagram, Manifest with Tori DeSimone, and my TikTok. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.